Hello, Alex. Thank you for joining me once again. It seems like you have some great news to tell. And as I have no idea what you did, how you did it, you have to do the talking today. I will ask only stupid questions, like always. So please go ahead and tell us the good news you have told me and why we are talking again right now.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello Tobias. Glad to see you and speak with you again. Uh, yeah, after our latest episode when we spoke about distribution services, I tried to use this RouteNote distributor that you spoke about,
Hmm.
and I found the interesting thing about it. They have option to actually monetize your SoundCloud account, which
Cool.
is to me is a pretty great opportunity. I'm a SoundCloud guy,
Yeah,
and
I know.
I
Our
know a
first
lot of.
talk was about SoundCloud because I have. That's why you have to do the talking. I have no idea about Sound. I mean, I know what SoundCloud is, and we talked about this in the first episode. So that's why you're the expert now. So you got an option to monetize your tracks on SoundCloud.
Yes, so as soon as I found this thing, I decided to try it and not to speak about it until I get the real result,
Hmm.
until I get this confirmation that I will get income, and it happened just 3 days ago,
Hmm.
and it was pretty interesting process, and it has a lot of interesting nuances that can it took for me three weeks to from zero to now to 3 days ago to get this monetization of on my music, and this is not all music that I have got monetization. And in this episode we will speak what can you what can expect you,
Hmm.
where can you make some mistakes, where can you uh, get into little confusion that can expand your time of conforming. We will not speak about why you should do this monetization stuff because it's just
It
someone wanted to do it,
it should be obvious,
someone don't.
why you should get some money for
Yeah,
your hard work. I mean,
uh,
that you put it out there, and even if you're not how you say a serious musician, you should still get some money back for it. I mean, you paid for the equipment, you paid for the mastering and mixing and all these other things. You put in your heart and your work, also your time. So why shouldn't you get at least a little bit back? So I don't have any problems with that. So it's yeah, you should do it because you can.
yeah, you can do it, and you may not do it. It's up to you. My function here is just to tell that it's possible because no one knows, seems like, that it's possible, and I was pretty happy, really happy about it because this is my favorite platform, and for me personally this platform works that I don't even do anything for promotion of my music on these platforms. This music promote itself. It's like
Hmm.
I'm working on Apple Music, Spotify, and I forgetting about SoundCloud, and it brings stable streams to me
Hmm.
and audience and subscribers was when I busy by something else. So where do we start? If you don't have much time to listen the whole episode, which is will be for about I guess hour,
Hmm.
because a lot of stuff to say, you can just go to description and we will leave links right there, right? So
Hmm.
we don't waste your time because basically the process pretty simple. You will get it fast, you will get it free, and worst thing that may happen is you just get it 1 week later. Yes, but if
Hmm.
you want to dive into it, like to hear experience of someone, fresh experience, just like I did it 3 weeks ago or something like that, yeah, stay tuned and let's get started. So first thing what I wanted to speak is I just don't want to sound like someone who sells you something magical that will make you very
Oh,
rich,
Alex,
rich,
I wanted I
rich.
wanted the silver bullet. You know, I thought you give me now the you know the the special sauce, and I don't have ever to work again. Oh man, no, now I'm
Yes.
disappointed. I'm gonna drop off now.
I will try better next time. Okay, so yeah, first underwater stone, let's call it that way, is monetization works in only 9 countries in the world. So it's, I guess, London and USA, maybe Canada. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find it this information before we started this episode, but uh, I didn't find it. I guess I just didn't have enough time. If you're interested in this, I will try to find it after this episode and add a link or info in the description. But at the moment, yeah, I don't know. So basically, what it means for you is if you already have your music or some information about people who listen your music, right? It's already on this stage. You can understand if your listeners in these monetization countries, yeah, you kind of feel free to do it, right? And if you don't have audience that in the country of monetization, for example, my country is not in monetization, not getting monetized, which is why I always thought that SoundCloud don't have actually ads advertisement, but they do. And after I knew it, I was wondering what people think about this advertising, and I went to applications on Apple Store and Play Market to see what people saying actually about SoundCloud. And yeah, they kind of hate monetization, not monetization. They hate advertisement in SoundCloud. I'd like to mention it because it's important for, I guess, artists. So the thing is, people think that it's SoundCloud's fault about this, but basically it's our responsibility as artists to put advertisement on our music or not. Uh, as far as I understand, it works like you get your music monetized, and you get money for views of this advertisement. It's like on YouTube, as far as I know, at least. So yeah, we spoke
So
about these
just
countries.
to kind of confirm this, so you don't get money for that, like on Spotify, that people stream your music. You get only money for the advertisement itself, which is in your music or in front of the
This
music or something.
this is my theory that it works like that because you still get listens in countries where there is no advertisement program, right? And nobody can say also how much SoundCloud pay, which is another thing to think that it works like YouTube because nobody knows how much YouTube pays because it depends on what kind of advertisement is on your content. If
So,
you see some
okay, yeah,
cheap,
I guess you will get to this because this is an interesting part. Because as far as I know about YouTube, it's kind of it depends on your content, what you upload there, and then you get kind of people or the companies can kind of say, oh yeah, I want to advertise in front of this or not in that, and so so basically they choose if you can advertise or not and what you can advertise. So yeah, okay, and might be the same with SoundCloud, basically.
yeah, so not a lot of people can really speak about numbers that you will get, but this number is pretty close to Spotify stream income numbers, right? But here is yeah, we should understand that Spotify monetizing in much more countries than 9 countries. So this is the first thing that I wanted to speak about. That yeah, not everything that's smooth. What I like it about it, you have two options, and paid options and free options, where you share your 50% of income with RouteNote, or you share your 30% of income with RouteNote and 2% with someone who invited you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you invited me,
Mm-hmm.
and now when I make money, 30%, not 50, 30% goes to RouteNote and 2% goes to uh, you,
Um,
basically.
I think no, it's not. You get 15% are deducted by RouteNote, and as far as I know, RouteNote takes out the 2% I might get because I invited you and you took my invitation link. Um, they take it out of their pocket, so so they get only 13%.
Oh,
So it's not that they don't take anything away from you. You are just saying with a 15% minus. But I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
This
don't
is
wanna I don't wanna confuse the listeners because we're talking about now something different. I mean, we started about monetization on SoundCloud, and now we're talking about RouteNote and how that there is a free option on RouteNote, like we did tell before. And if you use this free option on RouteNote is a distributor where you can send your music to all over the world, to Spotify, to Deezer, to iTunes, wherever you want, and you don't have to pay anything. But if you choose this option, you have to pay, or our RouteNote keeps 15% of your royalties. That's what we are talking about right now, right? So I don't want the
yeah, and
listeners
this
to
is
be confused because I thought we will only talk about SoundCloud, but now you're talking about RouteNote.
yeah, it would be great to speak about SoundCloud in general, but this is two pretty close topics,
I,
and
I, I see. I see. I just
the
wanted to make it
most
sure that
yeah
we're now on RouteNote, and now you can take us to where you go from there to SoundCloud, because I guess this is what you want
yeah.
to show us now. That you from RouteNote you can
Basically, in
also.
this
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm stopped
yeah, yeah,
talking.
yeah. In this episode, no, I need you to ask me questions because I don't know what kind of questions can
Hmm.
appear in some in listeners. I had million questions because I always want to know uh, in advance something
Hmm.
that I should. And
I know
I
you. I know you. You are
just
a good researcher. In advance. It takes a while for you to digest things, but it's good. You're not rushing out to do things, so you're taking your time and deliberately thinking about things. That's good. I'm more like, oh, let's try this and see if it works or not.
yeah. So yeah, in this app we kind of speak about both SoundCloud and RouteNote
Hmm.
because the biggest part of this process is at the end of the day it's your registration, and
Hmm.
the registration is something that you do with RouteNote, which is why the main topic is basically how you to do it with RouteNote, and
Okay.
the SoundCloud is kind of uh, background topic. It's kind of our final result that we want to achieve, but the process the all the way with RouteNote.
Hmm.
And why we spoke about this 15 persons, this is another thing that you have to understand about this because um, pretty mm, pretty possible, I guess, if it's right to say that you have pretty big SoundCloud account, and maybe it's not worth it to give a 15% when you can pay, I guess, $10, where
Hmm.
you able to keep all 100 persons, like this 15 persons much more than $10 for you. That
Hmm.
is free option is not the case for you in this point, but it's still cheaper option than you do it in SoundCloud directly with their pro program, I guess. And they also have repost something like that. It's a little bit confusing. I tried to research it, but yeah, I need a little bit more time. So this is second thing about this. I wanted to speak about another thing. I forgot. It was a really important. I I almost finished the whole guide about how to do it step
Mm-hmm.
by step, so people were able to do it because I've lost a week for this. Let's get straight to the process. If you're going to do it right now, let's say some people just go ahead and do it like while this podcast plays, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty simple. You're going to this website, RouteNote, and open your account if you don't have one. Uh, I shared this opportunity with some artists, with some SoundCloud artists,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I found this, and uh, based on their questions we will speak right now. So the first thing they asked is, what about SoundCloud? What am I doing with SoundCloud? SoundCloud is not the first thing that you do with monetizing stuff. Even if you don't have SoundCloud account, this is not the first thing that you do. First thing that you do is uploading your stuff to RouteNote. It should be FLAC or MP3 format.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend FLAC. I will speak about it a bit later. Uh, what you have to do, make sure all stuff with your ISRC and UPC is okay, because this is the reason I have some tracks is not monetized, because I messed up this USRC, ISRC UPC codes.
Mm-hmm.
This root node generated new ones for some of my music, and now I have to make these long conversations. So it's pretty simple. Just pay big attention to all the fields mm, in their soundtrack registration form. After you do it, uh, it takes for them due COVID 5 days, maybe earlier. It can you say how long it were before COVID to approve your soundtrack in RouteNote?
It was always a little bit longer, I have to admit. So 5 days, maybe. I think the fastest one I ever had was like 3 days or something. But I remember I often, and this has nothing to do with COVID, had to open a ticket and say to the guys, okay, where is my stuff? Why is it not approved? So sometimes or often it took 14 days too. So it's not that fast. I mean, on the other hand, we talked about it. It's a free service, so you yeah, I it's not perfect, but they're a little bit slow. So 5 days is actually a good time for them.
Yeah, and we can use these 5 days. As I said, the first thing that we do is upload as clean versions as possible, as clean codes, making sure that everything okay, because then you have at least 5 days to make everything else. And
Hmm.
what I recommend you to do, you don't have to do that. What I did, is I uploaded one soundtrack to check how long, how it works, will it work, because my stuff in other distributor and some stuff like that. And then when I got approved this soundtrack, I uploaded all the rest
Hmm.
of my
So you
music,
did one
which is
test.
why I
I got it. You get
yeah,
one
and
test,
this
and then
test
then
costed
afterwards,
me.
okay.
So yeah, you can do it that way, or you can upload what I would recommend all at one day. Just drop it out. It's a little bit slow
Hmm.
process. and confusing. I don't recommend you to hurry because you can mess up with these codes, because their fields a little bit confusing. You get used to it, but at the first 3-4 soundtracks, you kind of, where was that, or where I can feel this. So why to upload it at one day is then 5 days later it seems like they go not with music but with profiles, and they check, seems like your profile, and if you upload it at one day, everything that I uploaded at one day were approved at one day, not like these were approved 3 days later, these were approved 5 days later. Everything were uploaded approved in the one day and while it approves, like you did everything, let's say, uh, you can now switch to your SoundCloud. Uh, at this point, you can forget about RouteNote. You just make sure that you have a profile, SoundCloud profile URL, which is, let's say, which is something that you want to keep in long term, which is something that you don't want to change. Because before I started, I had a URL Alex Bogo MP3. Uh, and it's just because I used it long ago and didn't change it, and now I understand that it make more sense to go with SoundCloud second accident. It's simpler to remember, and it makes more sense basically. So I changed before I used this URL. I changed it to second accident, and then I sent this URL to RouteNote. It's like, did you do this? Did you
No,
monetize your
no,
music?
I don't have a SoundCloud, so I never. You're the
Oh, I
SoundCloud
see.
guy. I'm absolutely. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
there. I know I should, but well,
Oh,
next
it's up
next time.
to it's up to you. No,
Yeah.
as I say, I just listen music there, which is
Mm-hmm.
why it makes sense for me to
No,
upload
no,
it
I
there
completely
because
understand, and we talked about this. You are a big SoundCloud guy, and that's fine, and that's why you are talking now. I'm
yeah,
I might become one, but at the moment I'm actually quite happy with just Spotify on the rest of the world.
it's like, yeah, it's like, it's a question of taste, like that. Uh, so as if you like Tobias and you don't have SoundCloud yet, but this monetization idea is nice to you, you can start with RouteNote without even having this account on SoundCloud, which is interesting because you will have 5 days to create account, to clean it, to upload everything, which is kind of can be also tricky because if your music protected, you know what happens. Like I tried to upload Second Insight to SoundCloud, and still it says me that someone don't want it to happen. Me basically.
You're blocking
So
yourself, basically.
I'm blocking myself. Yeah. Um, so uh, while soundtrack approving, you send this link. Full guide will be in the description, or the link with this window of SoundCloud monetization in RouteNote will be in the description. And then what you need to do is mm, make sure your soundtracks sounds okay, because and that you make everything clear from the perspective of copywritings, because I had a problem with two soundtracks which is not still not yet monetizing. One of these will not ever, because of Keanu Reeves' voice in the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah, and Warner
you
Brothers.
can take my voice if you want. I can be
Yeah, just
menacing as well next
I, g-
time.
I just created this one long before we knew each other. So
Yeah, no, it's fine.
yeah, so I had to do remaster, the whole remaster of this soundtrack without this voice because RouteNote said no, will not allow this to happen. But another distributor basically, yeah, made this happen. So it's kind of tricky. I still don't know who is right from them. I spoke with my friend from Japan, and he said that basically it's not a big deal, and they should allow you to use it. It's kind of something like that. So it's kind of it requires a little
Yeah,
research.
I think here I can say something because it really depends on, but I wouldn't bank on it. It depends on the length of a sample you use. It depends on, how if you distort it a little bit and how you use it. If you use it just stripping it off from a movie or something. So the length is important, but actually I would advise everyone to not do that because um, worst case scenario is your track is really, catching on, and then they get more and more attention, and even if it works for a while, there might still be copyright claims then, and you're gone. So and you're out of monetization. So my if you want a cool sounding voice, take mine, or just record your own or whatever. Um, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, it's pretty unpleasant experience was at this
Sometimes
point
it
when
works,
I
but most of it, I mean, I wouldn't bank on it, and it can be, worst cases like it's running for 10 years, and then somebody finds it, and woof, and you're gone.
yeah, and these were pretty let's say it. I made some money from this soundtrack, and now I have to delete it everywhere, and I have to now promote a remaster of this soundtrack again. Uh, this is the first thing that you should pay attention, big attention to, because SoundCloud is a platform where a lot of people making mixtapes, 40 minutes mix like radio. Yeah, it's kind of tricky for such kind of or covers. What can you say about? I remember you had a lot to say about RouteNote and
Yeah, with
covers.
covers, it's possible, but here you have to bring your own copyright basically. So you have to get your license yourself, and this is I did some research into this, and it takes at least, I mean, the cheapest one I could find was about like $50 or something, and I think you had to renew it once in a while and stuff. So anyway, my thing is I don't do covers on RouteNote because it's too expensive, and you have to do a lot of stuff to get them. So yeah, that's my take on it. I wanted to say something else as well. Um, and I forgot. Oh yeah, you know that I stream my radio show now live on YouTube, and often it happens that we got also copyright claims. So even if I play minor artists, I mean, not the big names. I mean, if I play the big names, I did this before, like Paradise Lost or something, then I can understand that we put in a copyright infringement or whatever, and my stuff is blocked everywhere. But even with smaller bands, it happens that if they are on a label and they are really out looking for things, I mean, this is not the topic here. This is just banned by YouTube, and the live stream is okay. And then sometimes the live stream survives as a thing you can watch later on, and sometimes it's just blocked everywhere.
So yeah, and the reason why we mm, invest so much time in this question because SoundCloud is really a platform where a lot of covers, and I believe you might be make these covers. So yeah, I don't really sure how to do that because yeah, my music had only a few words and bam.
Mm-hmm.
1 week lost because of that, and big part of income as well. Another thing that happened with me is with another soundtrack that I didn't still monetized is um, I had a soundtrack controlled pattern, and the beginning of this soundtrack were too silent, and
Mm-hmm.
they just said that there is no music in the first uh, 8 seconds, which is why we can't allow to happen this. There was sound. It's just it's idea of soundtrack based on this silence, but uh, they considered it as there is weren't. So I had to do remaster
Mm-hmm.
of this soundtrack as well, where I boosted this first part of soundtrack,
Mm-hmm.
which is not really good thing to do with finished
Yeah,
audio files.
I don't really like this idea because this sounds like, you know, I mean, um, how should I say this? You kind of get forced into complying to the rule of a platform you're gonna send money music to in order to get monetization. And I don't like this because it kind of neuters you as an artist. You know, it doesn't allow you to do the music you want to do. You know, you have to be there right from the start and stuff. So, but this is yeah, I don't like that actually. You know, so I understand them. You know, but it's kind of it infringes on our artist creativity. So if you, I mean, don't. Just recently, I was talking about a band about there is no hidden tracks anymore because on Spotify you cannot have a hidden track. You know, if you put out an album, and in the past, you know, you had an album and there was 7 songs on it, and then maybe if you let the last song run for 30 minutes, then there was a hidden track in the end, and you could listen to it, you know, or even on a CD. Do you remember these times? They are all gone now because you cannot do a hidden track on Spotify because it's either a track or it's not a track. And of course, Spotify will also not just have 30 minutes of emptiness and then a little bit of noise or something. So, yeah, some artist choices are lost through this. But I mean, this is not our topic here. But I don't like that. What I hear from you that you had to boost this. I know the song "Control Pattern." I played it in my show as well, and yeah, I mean, it's a little bit odd because, you know, when I announce it and now comes this song and then there's like seemingly nothing for 10 seconds, but it's you know, it's the way it was built. It was kind of, it needs to take away the tension or build up the tension first, and yeah, I don't like that. It's more like
It might,
movie music you did there, the controlled pattern.
yeah. In context of this monetization question, you can just not monetize such music if you don't want to change anything, like I changed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but real problem expects, I think, ambient creators
Mm-hmm.
because their style based on silence. They can make some snap, and 30 seconds later the whole soundtrack will become, you know, I listen a lot of such music because it just helps me to work while and it's pretty often to hear that it's so silent. So I guess if you create ambient or something like that, you can get into trouble with that, but we never know. Just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't change it before you upload it. You better to try to
Yeah.
waste 5 more days than basically, yeah, do things no one asked you to do in advance. It is not
Exactly.
best way.
It's kind of self censorship, you know, that you don't do things just because you think they could not work. Just do them. And if it don't work and you want it, I mean, I see. For me, it wouldn't be the worst case thing. Would be here that you don't get monetization for this one track. So unless you're really a hungry, starving artist, I wouldn't consider this as that bad. And rather stick to your guns and do the music you want to do and you want to bring out. And then it's, one you don't get as much money as for the other, basically. But you stay true to yourself. That's my point.
Yeah, and if you SoundCloud listener or SoundCloud creator, which is a little bit different kind of creators, uh, you probably don't care that much about the amount of money, because I said at the beginning, and which is why I said it at the beginning, that only 9 countries get monetized. So yeah, it's kind of not a Lamborghini or something like that. Not soon, at least, right?
So you don't have a
Just
Lamborghini yet. You just still drive your Porsche. Oh man, poor guy. I have at least my Humvee and my other SUVs and my big. I just have a bike. I mean, a normal bike, not even an electric bike. So, yeah, I'm rich, man. I'm really rich.
yeah. So in this point, for most of us, SoundCloud means monetization may mean couple of cups of coffee per week, I guess, something like that. And then I would take it as exercise for your brain. It's like, because all this process, I liked it, this process of monetization, uh, even even so much that when I saw this blue dollar above my soundtracks, basically, by the way, no one knows that you're monetizing, except for people who listen the advertisement, because when you get approved, I was wondering what will happen when you get approved. Will you get this orange star like all these pro users, or what is going to happen? By the way, it's official thing. If you may think that it's some underground way to do it, no, it's official thing. Everything is officially. It just it just doesn't work like that. People just see you as regular artist. They don't see any signals that you getting monetized for your music, which is, by the way, getting monetized after 30 seconds of play, like in most of platforms. At least Apple Music works like that, and Spotify, I guess, as far as I remember, works like that as well. Um, Big trouble were for me were with MP3. Uh, on free plan, you can work with two kind of files, and this is MP3 or FLAC. I never worked with FLAC before, by the way. I worked with Wave as usually, MP3 for stuff like Submit Hub, or in order to send you music for Shellshocked radio, right? Because you don't want, I guess, to have this huge file,
Yeah, and for my radio stuff, it doesn't really make a big
yeah.
difference if it's a WAV file or MP3 file. Actually, the DJ software we use can play basically everything, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just it's more convenient to use an MP3, and from the sound quality. It depends on where people listen to, but I suspect that most people listen on their headphones or on your iPhones or whatever. So I that's maybe me. I'm not such a connoisseur when it comes to the sound quality, because I personally, but this is maybe a fault of mine, I don't hear the quality difference so much. I know I worked with engineers before, and he was like, fiddling on his knobs and, do you hear this? Do you hear this? And I didn't hear anything. I don't hear a difference when you do this and that. I mean, only if you do major things, I hear the difference, of course. So anyway, just the little excursion why I don't really care about it, because I don't hear so much of a difference. But this is just me, you know. But
Yes,
I suspect most people listen on their cell phones and on their mobiles, and there is not. Who sits down to listen to a radio show on their big stereo setup or quadraphonic whatever, where you can really listen to the. I don't think anyone does this.
yeah, for Shellshocked radio, I have something like this.
Okay,
It's not
a little
stereo,
boom box
right?
basically.
Yeah, Bluetooth. It's just because I listen it while I train usually. So it's not about this stuff. Like and I don't have monitors in here because I have to move pretty often. You know that. I can't allow musical instruments and stuff. Okay, to the topic. Back to the topic.
Yeah, sorry.
What about these files? I don't know what happened with MP3, but it just didn't take it. They always said me that bitrate too high, bitrate too high. I don't know. Uh, from practical side, I decided that FLAC is simpler to work with on RouteNote. If you decide, if you have a big account and you go with a premium option or whatever the reason you go the premium option, don't worry about it. They allow you to work with Wave, as far as I know. No?
Yep, yeah, we do.
Yes? Y- Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, if you get free plan, um, I would recommend to go for FLAC. This is what I said to some artists that I just recommended after I started this process, and this is I would recommend to you because it's much simpler to make a file that they expect to get, and there is well not some moments when you did all this conversion stuff, and it's still not 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 something that they expect you to do. Another thing about FLAC, it's better than MP3 as far as I know. These files have more information, so if someone use quality stuff, in my case, yeah, I tried to work with Wave, and this was first. I have some MP3 of my old music because I needed to MP3, and then I lost my waves, and this is the reason I have MP3s. So I had some works with MP3s. Is this another topic? So FLAC 44.1 Hz. Uh, is good to go. 48 too much for them. It's kind of, you will see it in their guide, but when I made all this conversion stuff for all the 14 soundtracks that I have, it's kind of, you can get a little bit um, you're getting tired by this process, and you can 44, 49. What else?
Yeah, you have so
Yeah.
many options, and if you use a good DAW, you have like a lot of options. You can save your music or you can convert it to. So, yeah, it's yeah, you have to learn what best works.
Yeah, so just you can try MP3, but I think FLAC is a victory, completely victory in this case because it has more information. It's simpler to prepare to go, and basically good way to save a lot of time, which I lost when I did all this stuff. Uh, Artworks is G JPG, JP, not JPEG, but JPG.
JPEG,
Just
just GPG.
yeah, because this E in JPEG is not allowed. 3000 by 3000 as everywhere else artwork. If you have, I have pretty quality artworks, but they not 3000 by 3000. But the thing is, they still made with uh, good photo camera, let's say it that way. And I'm not ready to change it, and I don't have these files bigger than 3000. I don't know what people usually do in these cases, but you can just Google image resizer if you're sure that it won't change quality of your work, because uh, my artworks is not 3000 by 3000, which is why I should change their size anyway. But I did it not to make it it didn't became worse. It's like if pictures like that, and I will get close it like to the eye of this woman with sword. It's still pretty quality. It looks very good, but it wasn't 3000. So I had to cheat this, and I made this 3000s. So, but picture is you will never say that it lesser than 3000s. And GPG. Why I speak about some just pictures, just because it was a huge headache for me. I didn't even know that my pictures is not that good, because usually my pictures, I have all my artworks in my iCloud and everywhere for the cases where I need to use it. And usually you just can take this picture and just print it for a whole wall, and it will be it will look very great. But some of them lesser than 3000. It's kind of strange to me. Yeah. So it was a headache. Another thing, if you iPad guy like me, I did most of work in iPad. iPad has, I don't know about Android stuff. They have these problems with files when you even do this stuff. Uh, or I guess it's more on iOS on Android. When you do this stuff from mobile operation systems, some of us prefer such systems, which is why I have to speak about it. Uh, it won't allow you use pictures that perfectly match their requirements. All you need to do in this case is just upload it from computer. Just do it from computer. Picture is okay.
Okay.
Make sure, yeah, because maybe someone used something unusual or just a tablet, like I did. So yeah, I just spent 2 hours to understand. I convert and convert and convert, and I don't understand what the. This is 3000.
What
If
the
it's
beep?
not
What the
3000.
beep?
Yeah, not really. Not to say it made me crazy, but yeah, I'd be like, Mom, you can just cook food on my head because it's so hot.
Yeah,
And
sometimes it's really annoying if they don't give you really. We just tell you it's not fitting, and you don't know what else you should change. So yeah, this is really the art of having error message telling you what is wrong with your. I work in IT, and I know for sure. We get like often I don't know. Just a generic error message, and then you have to look in the logs to find out what it really means, because what did you do wrong? It doesn't tell you anything, and so I guess you had this trouble. Anyway, yeah. So good. So
yeah, I
we
also
covered
had this
this, and
problem.
okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had this problem with DistroKid before when I started to work. It's just iPad thing, or I don't know, maybe all mobile devices thing. It always tells you that format is wrong, but format is okay. It just I don't know why but you just should upload it from your computer. This is I still don't understand how it works. So we covered two things. The first step is you upload your stuff to RouteNote account, which is quickly you can do it just right now. It's so simple. They don't ask you for your passport photos or stuff like that at this point, at least. Um, Another underwater stone is withdrawals with $50, right?
Yeah, RouteNote has a threshold they only pay you money if you reached at least 50 bucks, also $50, American dollars. So, as I'm a very small guy, sometimes I don't get anything for a few months until enough has accumulated, and then I get a payout. So, and
Yeah,
they do
so
it automatically. If you reach over $50, they send it to your bank account, or to your PayPal, whatever you do. So, I mean, you don't. That's really cool. You don't have to bigger with them, or you don't have to do any. Oh, can you send it? Or you don't have to do a manual withdrawal. They just send it to you once you reach the threshold. If it's like $50.01, you get they send it to you.
yeah. Um, so while this 5 days goes, you check everything okay with your SoundCloud. Make sure that your links to not only profile but to the music is correct or look like you want it to look like in long term. For example, you want, I don't know, visit card, with your soundtrack. It's a lot of cases that you can't predict, which is why I opened every single soundtrack and checked that link looks exactly the way I want it to look like, which is why, and I changed it. Why is it important? Because if you will upload your main link for the soundtrack, that will open this page with the soundtrack, not with profile, not with album, not with playlist where this soundtrack, but with only single soundtrack. This is important because it's pretty mm, let's say weak system, and everything is weak in this system. Like I mean, it's not enough words in my head to say what exactly I try to say. It's weak system from the point that if some small thing will go wrong, the whole system will drop down. Because if something wrong with your link, it will drop down. You will get out from monetization and until you will fix it. To fix it is pretty simple and fast, but you will have to wait. They say officially 14 days, I guess. In my case, it took 7 days. Another musician I recommended it still waits for approval. So make sure before the next step that all links look okay. You can change artworks for your soundtrack on SoundCloud. You can change files even, I guess. You can change files on Raw plan. It just same stats, same stuff, but you can change file if you need to. Like in my case, I needed to. Uh, After it happens, you go to RouteNote again. So first thing, we uploaded music to RouteNote. Second, we make sure that everything okay with SoundCloud. Third step is to say RouteNote that you have SoundCloud account, which is why we make everything clear before. And now when we have these clean links, you send your link to SoundCloud account for approval again, um, which will take another time, which is why for you, mm, it makes sense to do while your soundtracks getting approved, because it's like this amount of time, and another amount of time, right? And in my case, I did this, then I have to wait out this, then I have to wait out this amount of time, and what you can do, and you can do this and this at the same time. Mm. So they basically in their instruction don't tell you that you can try to, they say you first upload your stuff and then only you can request verification for monetization for your SoundCloud account. what I think you can try not to do like me to waste another week of your time. You can just go ahead and request verification just as soon as you uploaded your music at RouteNote, because it don't make sense. There is no way they won't approve your music, because what if you didn't wrote anything? You know, it's like the logic why they can deny it. It's like music are not the same, right? Or something like that.
I don't understand what you mean.
I'm trying to say that in the instructions, they saying that you can submit your SoundCloud account
Hmm.
after you got approved your soundtracks
Okay.
in yeah, but what my experience says, it you just can request verification while your soundtrack getting approved.
Okay. Okay.
uh, yeah, at the same time. Mm, why I paying that big attention to this question? Because it can save up to 1 week of your
Hmm.
time.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
uh, Yeah, and what happens next? You will be able to see the window with all your soundtracks that were uploaded to RouteNote, and all what left to do is just take your links, and it's like Excel stuff, you know. Mm, I will show you, but yeah, uh, it's it's they just kind of they have list of your music,
Hmm.
and all you need to do is manually just add to this list, to each individual soundtrack, this each individual link, and submit it.
Okay.
And then you go into Lamborghini website, and basically, yeah, it's all you had to do. Now you're waiting. If there are some problems, just check out your account. Not only email, because I've noticed that sometimes they didn't email that something wrong, and I had to check it manually in account.
Hmm.
But basically, yeah, this is all you need to do. So where do you waste time? Is first time where you submit your soundtrack, second time where you submit your SoundCloud account, and third time when you submit your soundtracks. And if something wrong with soundtrack, you can lose the time. For me, it took 3 weeks. If you still here and you want to make everything clear, at least as clear as I able to say it, uh, it may take for about 2 weeks, which is pretty fast in my opinion. Um, what happened next? I didn't get email about verification. I just manually check my SoundCloud every day,
Hmm.
and I just accidentally have seen this dollar sign above my soundtrack, which is saying like you're getting paid for it, like that. So this is the whole process basically.
Cool.
I hope it
Okay.
sounded simple enough for you. What do you think about it?
I I guess we got sidetracked a little bit once in a while, but it's fine. You know, it should be quite simple actually, and I guess the most I'm taking out of your explanation is you can streamline it a little bit. You don't have to waste too much time if you know what steps you can take at the same time, basically. So other than that, everyone should be able to do it, but you want to spare them some grief, and also with I think with the pictures this was quite good, JPEG for example, and you have to upload it from a computer, because I know that all these mobile devices, they are for some reason we should not be different, but we are treated a little bit different. And so this is a good point to do it from a computer. I would advise at this anyway, because I mean, just on a mobile device to upload all these things. I mean, you can do it, but you shouldn't.
Yeah, but just some people use stuff like this. I don't take my computer to get somewhere. I went to village last weekend, and I continue worked from weekend. I don't take computer in order not to break it or something like that. So I have to, and I believe a lot of people do the same way, which is why I know, which is why I spoke about it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so maybe next time we speak, we can talk about how it really turned out with the monetization. If it really, I mean, if you got success with that, and maybe you even get some feedback from your fans how they feel about it, because that I don't, I don't really know how this affect. I use a Spotify, a paid Spotify account, so I even use a paid YouTube account because I'm so tired of all this advertisement. So yeah, I really don't like that. But on the other hand, even that would mean I pay, so you might, or the persons I watch their videos or their SoundCloud or whatever, might still get some money because of this. Because if somebody has a paid account and listens to your music, I can imagine you will get some revenue through this.
Maybe this is another reason why there is no restricted numbers of your income per stream. Maybe because of this. Something like that. The main point why I wanted to speak about it is I found it accidentally. I googled it after I found it, and nobody knows that. People who knows a lot of all this music market stuff, they just, I don't know, they just, it seems no one know about it, and
Or nobody
I
talks
would
about
like
it.
someone to share. At least at least nobody talks about it, and I think this is not a thing to be silent about. I would like someone tell me a year ago, because I have pretty nice amount of streams on this platform. At the same time, I don't do anything to increase it. It just works like that, and why not to make time to work for you? And the main thing is not even to tell you how to do it, because it's pretty simple. It just requires a lot of time if you're not ready. It will require a little bit lesser time if you heard this podcast. As well, I preparing material. It's pretty difficult to prepare all this stuff on the blog format, let's say it that way. But the main point was to create something that tell you that this is possible, because I didn't even know that there is possible ways to do it for free. It's like in SoundCloud you have to pay monthly fees, and I don't know. There is one more distributor about that goes with this feature with this stuff. But yeah, I just speak about experience that I have, and I had you did that because you recommended me to try RouteNote. So I guess you didn't even know it as well, or something
I
like that.
think now that we were talking about it, that I read it somewhere, but as I'm not on SoundCloud, it was never really a thing for me. But now I think I could have told you, but I forgot. I simply forgot because I don't honestly I didn't care much about SoundCloud.
Yeah, this is not
So
very important for you.
yeah, so that's why I forgot. But see, this is, remember that we talked about that somebody said why I would use RouteNote if I have to give away 15%. But the RouteNote still has a big, great reach, and they put your songs on a lot of different platforms. Not just the big
One
ones.
second.
And also on other smaller ones and more, where in Russia, not in Russia, sorry, in China and stuff. So anyway, but Alex, I think we made our point. I think we talked about everything we needed to talk about. So I could go for dinner soon. Let's put it this way.
So great. Yeah, the main point of this podcast is not even to make you as a listener to listen all this pretty basically boring process. The main point is to create this, how to say it, highlight, like to create this sentence somewhere in internet that it's possible to say everybody that
Exactly. It's
it's
possible.
possible.
That's it.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
don't even need the people to listen to this. It's simple. It just go there and do it. But you have to know it, and all this hour that we spoke about how to do it, it's not that important to make some material like this podcast with naming, like you can do it for 3 weeks. And this is my point, and this is the very reason why I want to make a post to my blog, not to make all this boring process stuff. No, just to scream out to the world that it's possible, it's easy. Just nobody spoke about it, and I'd like to know it a year before or 2 years before. So yeah, I hope it was useful. I hope I wasn't that boring this time, because it's pretty boring process.
I mean, for the people,
difficult.
I'm pretty sure for the people who are interested in that, it's useful and interesting. And and like I said, it doesn't really matter if you're a small-time artist. Go to RouteNote, and just sign up for it, and you get paid. That's fine. It will take you maybe a year to get the $50 together to get a treasure, but I mean, you get them for free. I mean, you have to invest a little bit of time to do this, and you have to upload your songs and stuff. But why not? I mean, it's free.
Yeah, at least I know a lot of artists that have a huge amount of streams, and I wrote them. I usually write to artists like, wow, this is great stuff, and I wanted you to know that I heard it and it changed something in my vision or something like that. And for last weeks, I asked artists if they monetizing that, and when they get this information from me, like you do, they just getting happy about it, just like I did. I was more emotionally happy about it, because I was happy to work with SoundCloud for free, and now when I understand that I will even get paid for it, it's just I hope it
It's a
was
win-win
great
situation,
information.
basically. Yeah. So I mean, you
Yes,
still use
so
it, and
thank you very
you
much.
love to use it. No, thank you for bringing this to the attention of the world. So let's see that we make a little impact here. Maybe send me all the links, the material you gathered, that you talked about in the talk, so I can put it there. I can reuse the stuff from our RouteNote episode, because there's all the links to RouteNote and stuff. So yeah, and then we'll write some more things about it. Anyway, so thank you very much for your time, Alex. This was a very interesting talk where I had nothing to say much here. Okay, so thank you for your time, and I will talk with you next time when we found out something very interesting on the internet that nobody else knows, just us. We are special, we are chosen.
We just it was my profession in army. The guy who, I don't know this, how to say it, the one who goes first and check everything out. It was my profession in army.
Okay, thank you very
So
much.
thank you for helping me to
Yeah,
cover this topic.
no
See you
problem.
next time.
Okay, bye bye.